Ryan Russell notices the mile marker counting backwards for the fourth time. Mile 187, then 183, then 179, heading south. But the Greyhound is going north on Interstate 5 towards Sacramento. Ryan presses his face to the cold window of seat 14A, watching the green signs blur past in the 3:15 a.m. darkness. He's been awake since Bakersfield, 2 hours ago, counting markers to stay alert. They were climbing. 167, 171, 175. Normal, correct. Then, somewhere after the fog rolled in, they reversed. Ryan checks his phone. Wednesday, 3:15 a.m. He looked 10 minutes ago. Wednesday, 3:15 a.m. The seconds tick forward. He watches them. 00, 01, 02. But when it hits 3:16, the display flickers, resets. 3:15 a.m. again. He turns to wake the woman in 13B, but she's gone. Wait, no, she's there. Gray hair, floral scarf, paperback novel open on her lap. But Ryan remembers her getting off at the last stop. Visalia, maybe. He watched her stand, grab her bag, walk down the aisle. The driver even said, "Watch your stop, ma'am." Ryan heard it clearly. But she's sitting there, reading. Same position as before the stop, before she left. Except she didn't leave. Or she came back? Ryan counts the passengers. Himself, the woman, the teenager with headphones in 8A, the businessman in 4C, the couple in the back, 3 people in the middle rows, 9 total. He counts again, 9. But there should be 8. Someone got off. He saw someone get off. And seat 27B, 6 rows behind him, has been empty the entire trip. Completely empty. Not a jacket, not a bag, nothing. Like the seat doesn't exist to anyone but him. If you've ever counted something twice and got different answers both times, leave a comment and subscribe, because this journey is going to make you question every road trip you've ever taken. 5 hours earlier, Ryan bought his ticket at the Bakersfield terminal. $64 for Sacramento, the 10:30 p.m. Greyhound, last bus of the night up the 5. The ticket agent, a woman around 50 with glasses on a chain, barely looked at him. Platform 3, boarding in 20, standard, normal. Ryan grabbed coffee from the vending machine and sat on the plastic bench near gate 3, watching other passengers trickle in. A gray-haired woman with a floral scarf arrived first, carrying a small rolling suitcase and a paperback. She smiled at Ryan, polite, grandmotherly, and took a seat near the window. Then a teenager, maybe 17, headphones already in, backpack covered in band patches. A businessman in a wrinkled suit, tie loosened, briefcase at his feet. An older couple, holding hands, speaking Spanish quietly. A few others Ryan didn't pay much attention to. Maybe 12 people total when they boarded. Ryan chose a window seat near the back, row 14, seat A. Good view, away from the bathroom, not too close to anyone. The woman with the scarf sat 2 rows ahead, the teenager several rows forward. Everyone else scattered throughout the bus. The driver, a man in his late 50s, name tag said Morrison, made the standard announcements. Sacramento, approximately 4.5 hours with stops in Visalia and Fresno. Please remain seated while the vehicle is in motion. His voice was tired but professional, like he'd said these words 10,000 times. The bus pulled out at 10:47 p.m., 17 minutes late. Ryan watched Bakersfield's lights fade into darkness as they merged onto Highway 99, then transitioned to Interstate 5 north. The highway was empty. Wednesday night, dead week, just trucks and the occasional car. Ryan put in his own earbuds, started a podcast, and watched the mile markers begin their climb. Mile 147, mile 151, mile 155. Everything was completely, utterly normal. For the first 43 minutes. Ryan notices his podcast first. His listening to a true crime episode, 42 minutes long. He started it when they left Bakersfield. Now, according to his phone, 17 minutes have passed. But the podcast is at the 38-minute mark. That's 21 minutes of audio in 17 minutes of time. Ryan pauses it, checks the timestamp, 38:14. He looks at his phone's clock, 11:04 p.m. He does the math. Left at 10:47. That's 17 minutes. The podcast shouldn't be at 38:14 unless... He must have started it earlier, maybe in the terminal. But he remembers, clearly, pressed play right when the bus started moving. He rewinds to the beginning, checks the clock, 11:04 p.m. Plays for 60 seconds, checks again, 11:04 p.m. The seconds are ticking. He can see them. 11:04:31, 11:04:32, 11:04:33. But when it reaches 11:05, the display stutters, like a skipped frame, then shows 11:04 again. Ryan takes out his earbuds, breathes. Probably a glitch. iPhones do that sometimes. Battery issues, maybe. He looks out the window instead. Mile marker 171 passes by. Good. Normal. Going up. Then 167. Ryan frowns. 167? After 171? He must have misread. Dark outside. Easy mistake. But the next marker, 163. Then 159. They're going backwards. Ryan leans forward, staring at the road ahead through the windshield gaps between seats. The highway stretches straight. No curves, no exits visible. Just white lines and darkness. A green overhead sign appears in the distance, grows closer. Fresno, 47 miles. Ryan watches it pass. He checks the time. 11:04 p.m. Still. 10 minutes later, or what feels like 10 minutes, impossible to tell. Another sign. Fresno, 47 miles. Same exact design, same font, same everything. Ryan sits up. 47 miles twice? Maybe he miscounted. But no, he specifically noted the number because 47 is his father's age. He was thinking about calling him, decided against it, too late. But he remembers that sign, 47. And there's another one, Fresno, 47 miles. Ryan stands, walks down the aisle toward the driver. Morrison sits perfectly still, hands at 10 and 2, eyes on the road. "Excuse me," Ryan says. "How long until Fresno?" Morrison doesn't turn. "First stop is Visalia, sir. About 30 minutes. "But we passed Visalia," Ryan says. "Didn't we? Someone got off there." Now Morrison glances at the rearview mirror. His eyes meet Ryan's. Tired, patient. "First stop is Visalia. 30 minutes. Okay." Ryan walks back to his seat, sits. The woman with the scarf, 2 rows ahead, turns slightly, looks at Ryan for exactly 2 seconds, then returns to her book. Her expression is neutral, not concerned, not curious, just aware, like she heard the conversation but has no opinion on it. Ryan counts the passengers again. 1, 2, 3, 9. Same 9. But he knows someone got off. He saw it. Unless he didn't. Unless he fell asleep and dreamed it. But he doesn't feel like he slept. The teenager removes his headphones, looks directly at Ryan. "You good, man?" Ryan startles. "What?" "You been pacing, like, a lot." The teenager's voice is casual, friendly even. "You okay?" "I wasn't pacing," Ryan says. "I just asked the driver one question." The teenager tilts his head. "Nah, dude, you've been up like 4 times, walking around, talking to yourself a little." "No, Ryan stops. 4 times? He's only stood once. Just now. I've been in my seat the whole time." "Sure, man, whatever." The teenager puts his headphones back in. Conversation over, like he's humoring someone who's clearly confused. Ryan looks at the woman with the scarf. She's watching him now, fully turned in her seat. "Are you feeling all right, dear?" Her voice is kind, grandmotherly. "Do you need water?" "Did you see me get up 4 times?" Ryan asks. She pauses, then smiles, sympathetic. "You've been restless. It's a long trip. Perfectly normal." "But I just got up, for the first time." The woman exchanges a glance with the businessman across the aisle, a brief look, then back to Ryan. "Maybe you should try to sleep, sweetheart. You look exhausted." Ryan feels his chest tighten. They're wrong. They have to be wrong. He's been sitting. He's been awake. He hasn't moved except 30 seconds ago. But they both said, and the teenager, maybe he did fall asleep. Maybe he's been dreaming. Sleepwalking? Can you sleepwalk on a bus? Ryan forces himself to breathe, to focus on something concrete. He counts passengers again, slowly, carefully. Row 4, businessman, 1. Row 7, middle-aged man he hadn't noticed before, 2. Row 8, teenager, 3. Row 9, woman with laptop, 4. Row 11, empty. Row 13, woman with scarf, 5. Row 14, himself, 6. Row 16, empty. Row 18, young woman sleeping, 7. Row 22, the couple, 8, 9. Row 24, older man with newspaper, 10. 10 passengers, including him. But earlier he counted 9. He specifically remembers. 9. Did someone board at a stop? But they haven't stopped, have they? Ryan walks forward again, counts going the other direction. Businessman, man he didn't notice, teenager, laptop woman, scarf woman, himself, sleeping woman, couple, newspaper man. 10. Definitely 10. So either he miscounted before, very possible, or someone got on. But the bus hasn't stopped. Ryan's been watching the road constantly. No stops, no slowing down, just constant speed through darkness. Unless he blacked out, brief microsleep, missed a stop entirely? That's the only explanation. Ryan sits back down. His hands are shaking slightly. The cold hits him suddenly, like stepping into a freezer. Ryan wraps his arms around himself, rubbing his biceps. The air conditioning must be broken, blasting too high. He looks up at the vents above his seat, closed, not even a breeze. He breathes out, sees vapor, a cloud of condensation from his breath, visible, clear, like winter morning fog. But that only happens below 45 degrees. Ryan checks the bus's digital display near the front. 68 degrees. Comfortable, normal. He breathes out again, more vapor, definite, unmistakable. He touches the window. It's cold, ice cold. Frost is forming on the bottom corner. Actual frost, inside the bus. Ryan looks around. The woman with the scarf wears a light cardigan, short sleeves underneath. She's not shivering, not rubbing her arms. The teenager wears a t-shirt. The businessman loosened his tie earlier, clearly too warm, not too cold. Ryan is the only one seeing his breath, the only one feeling cold. He touches his forehead. Normal temperature, not feverish, not clammy. He's fine, physically fine. But he can see his breath, and the temperature reads 68 degrees, and those two facts cannot coexist. He breathes on the window intentionally. Fog appears. He draws a line through it with his finger. The line stays. Proof. Evidence. He's not imagining this. Ryan stares at the window, watching his reflection merge with the darkness outside. He can see himself. Seat 14A. Behind him, faintly, the woman with the scarf. The teenager several rows up. Normal. Everyone in their places. But seat 27B, reflected in the glass, isn't empty anymore. Someone's sitting there. Ryan can see them clearly in the reflection. A figure, slumped against the window, wearing a dark jacket. He can't make out the face, but the posture is distinct. Definitely a person. Ryan turns around, looks directly at row 27. Seat B is empty, completely empty. Has been the entire trip. He turns back to the window reflection. The figure is still there, sitting, motionless, exactly as before. Ryan closes his eyes, counts to 10, opens them, still there. He's losing his mind. That's the only explanation. Hallucinating. Maybe carbon monoxide. Buses can leak exhaust. That causes visual distortions, doesn't it? Temporal confusion, paranoia, all classic symptoms. Except everyone else seems fine. The bus slows. Ryan hadn't noticed any exit signs, but the driver is pulling off. A rest stop, maybe? Or Visalia, finally. Morrison announces, Visalia, 10-minute break. Visalia, the first stop. Which means they haven't stopped before. Which means Ryan was wrong about someone getting off earlier. Which means he's been confused this whole time. Relief floods through him. He's just tired, disoriented. Everything has a rational explanation. The bus stops. Door opens. Nobody moves. Ryan looks around. All 9 other passengers are asleep. Every single one. Heads tilted, eyes closed, breathing slowly. All of them simultaneously asleep, including the teenager who was talking to him 5 minutes ago, including the woman who was reading. 10 minutes, Morrison repeats, louder. Nobody stirs. Ryan stands. Is anyone getting off? His voice echoes. No response. He walks toward the front, passes the businessman, the laptop woman, the scarf woman, all sleeping. Faces peaceful, too peaceful, like mannequins. Ryan steps off the bus. The rest stop is a small gas station. Single building, lights on inside. 1 car in the lot. No other vehicles, no trucks, nothing. He walks inside. A clerk behind the counter. Young guy, early 20s, wearing a Greyhound uniform. Wait, Greyhound employees work at rest stops? Ryan approaches. Bathroom? Ryan asks. The clerk points without speaking. Ryan uses the bathroom. Perfectly normal, reasonably clean, and comes back out. The clerk is standing in the exact same position, same posture, like he hasn't moved a muscle. Do you work for Greyhound? Ryan asks. I work here, the clerk says. His voice is flat, neutral. But the uniform? The clerk looks down at his shirt, looks back at Ryan, smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. Oh, right. Yeah. Ryan buys a bottle of water. The clerk rings it up. $2.50. Ryan pays. The receipt says Greyhound Depot, Visalia. Not a gas station, a depot. But this is clearly a gas station. Ryan can see the pumps outside through the window. He walks back to the bus. Everyone is still sleeping. He's the only one who got off. He sits back in 14A. Morrison closes the door. The bus pulls back onto the highway. Ryan looks at his phone. Wednesday, 3:15 a.m. Still 3:15. Ryan can't take it anymore. He stands up in the aisle and shouts, "What time is it?" Everyone wakes up, simultaneously, like a switch flipped. Heads lifting in perfect unison, eyes opening together, all of them turning to look at Ryan. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. 15. The businessman speaks first. His voice is calm, patient. It's 11:47 p.m., sir. Are you all right? Ryan holds up his phone. My phone says 3:15 a.m. What do your phones say? The teenager pulls out his phone, shows the screen. 11:47, dude. Your battery's probably dying, glitching. My battery is at 73%, Ryan says. And we've been on this bus for hours. Hours. We left at 10:47. It should be past midnight, way past. The woman with the scarf stands, walks toward Ryan. Her expression is concerned, motherly. Dear, we left Bakersfield at 10:30. It's only been an hour and 17 minutes. You might be having a panic attack. Do you need me to ask the driver to... No, Ryan backs away. We left at 10:47. I checked. I specifically checked. And we've passed the same mile marker signs going backwards, and someone got off at Visalia, but then they didn't, and he points at the scarf woman, and you got off. I watched you. You walked down the aisle and got off, and now you're here again? She shakes her head slowly, pityingly. I haven't gotten off, sweetheart. I've been sitting here reading the whole time. Then why do I remember it so clearly? Ryan's hands are shaking. Why do I remember watching you leave? The businessman unbuckles, stands, walks toward Ryan. Sir, I'm a psychiatric nurse. I think you might be experiencing a dissociative episode. Extreme stress can cause... I'm not dissociating, Ryan shouts. I'm not crazy. Something is wrong with this bus. Morrison's voice crackles over the intercom, calm, professional. Sir, I need you to return to your seat. If you continue to cause a disturbance, I'll have to contact authorities at the next stop. Ryan looks at all of them. The businessman, the scarf woman, the teenager, the couple in back, the others. All watching him, all with the same expression, concerned, patient, like they're dealing with someone unstable. Maybe he is unstable. Maybe this entire thing is in his head. Psychotic break. He's read about it happening. Stress, sleep deprivation, underlying mental illness finally manifesting. People seem completely rational to themselves while experiencing full delusions. But the mile markers, he saw them, going backwards. That's not a delusion. That's... unless it is. Ryan sits down slowly. I'm sorry, he whispers. I'm sorry. I need to sleep. Everyone returns to their seats. The woman with the scarf pats his shoulder as she passes. It's okay, dear. Long trips can be disorienting. Ryan leans against the window, closes his eyes, tries to breathe normally. When he opens them, just for a second, just to check, he looks at seat 27B in the window's reflection. The figure is there, still slumped, still motionless. But now, for the first time, Ryan can see the face. It's his own face. He's looking at himself in seat 27B, in the reflection. Himself sleeping. Same jacket, same posture, same everything. But Ryan is awake in seat 14A. He's awake. He looks directly at row 27. Empty seat. Nobody there. Back to the reflection. Still there. Himself. Sleeping peacefully in a seat that doesn't exist. Ryan touches his own face. Solid. Real. He exists. He's here. In 14A. So, who's in 27B? Ryan opens his eyes. Sunlight. Bright. Painful. He's in a bus station. Sacramento terminal. People walking past him. Normal morning crowd. 8:47 a.m. according to the wall clock. He sits up. He's in a plastic chair. Gate 7. His backpack is on the floor next to him. His neck hurts. He slept crooked. He looks around, disoriented. When did he... A voice over the loudspeaker. Greyhound 317 to San Francisco, now boarding at gate 9. San Francisco? Ryan was going to Sacramento. He checks his phone. Thursday, 8:47 a.m. He left Bakersfield Wednesday night at 10:47. That's 10 hours? The trip should take 4.5. What happened to the other 5.5 hours? He opens his recent calls. Nothing. Messages. Last one is from his roommate. You there yet? Sent at 6:32 a.m. Ryan didn't respond. Why didn't he respond? A Greyhound employee walks past. Ryan grabs her arm. Excuse me, what time did the bus from Bakersfield arrive? She checks a tablet. Bakersfield? 317 came in at 3:42 a.m., 5 hours ago. 3:42? Ryan's stomach drops. And where did it park? Platform 3, but it left for San Francisco 20 minutes ago. Ryan stands, walks to the windows overlooking the platforms. Buses coming and going. Normal, real. Everything is completely normal. He checks his wallet. The ticket stub is there. Bakersfield to Sacramento. Dated Wednesday. Seat 14A. Used, stamped by the driver. He made the trip. He arrived. He's here. So, why doesn't he remember arriving? Ryan walks outside. Fresh air. Cold morning. He breathes normally. No vapor. His phone shows the correct time. 8:51 a.m. The seconds advance normally. 8:51:24, 8:51:25, 8:51:26. No stuttering, no loops. He made it. He's fine. It was just exhaustion. Maybe he did fall asleep, dreamed the whole thing. Vivid stress dream during a normal bus ride. Happens all the time. His phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. How was the ride? Morrison. Ryan stares at the message. Morrison? The driver? How does Morrison have his number? Ryan never gave it to him, never spoke to him except... He tries to reply. How did you get my number? 3 dots appear. Typing. Then, you gave it to me when you asked me to wake you in Sacramento. Don't you remember? Ryan doesn't remember that. Doesn't remember giving his number to anyone. But maybe he did. In his confused state, in the dream, and whatever happened. He types, what time did we leave Bakersfield? Response, 10:30 p.m. Arrived 3:42 a.m. 5 hours, 12 minutes. Made good time. That's correct. Normal timing. Everything adds up. Except Ryan's watch, his mechanical watch, not his phone, shows 3:15. The hands haven't moved, frozen at 3:15. The battery must be dead, obviously, but it's a mechanical watch, no battery. It winds automatically. And when Ryan looks at his ticket stub again, really looks, there's something written on the back in red pen, handwriting he doesn't recognize. Seat 27B will be available next time. J. Morrison. Ryan drops the ticket, bends to pick it up. When he looks again, the back is blank. Nothing written. Clean white paper. He must have imagined it. After image from the dream, the stress, the confusion. But in the window of the terminal, his reflection staring back, Ryan sees himself clearly, standing outside, holding his phone. Normal, real. Except in the reflection, just behind him, barely visible in the glass, there's a Greyhound bus, number 317, idling at a platform that isn't there. And in the bus window, in seat 14A, someone is sitting, watching him. Same jacket, same face. Ryan turns around. No bus, empty platform, just concrete and morning light. He looks back at the reflection. The bus fades, disappears completely. Just his own reflection now, tired, confused, alone. Ryan picks up his backpack, walks toward the exit. He has a friend in Sacramento who can give him a place to stay. He'll rest, sleep properly, and a bed. Not on a bus again. Never on a bus again. Behind him, on the departure board, a listing updates. Greyhound 317, Bakersfield, Gate 3, 10:30 p.m., now boarding. But it's 9 a.m. on a Thursday. That bus shouldn't be boarding. Ryan keeps walking, doesn't look back, can't look back. His phone buzzes again, same unknown number. See you Wednesday. But it's Thursday. Today is Thursday. He checks his phone calendar. Thursday, March 14th. The message was sent Wednesday, March 13th, yesterday, before he got on the bus, before everything. Ryan deletes the message, deletes the contact, puts his phone away, keeps walking. In the reflection of every window he passes, seat 27B is occupied, always, in every single reflection, following him. But when he turns to look directly, there's nothing there. Never anything there. Probably. Ryan never figured out what happened that night. Maybe it was exhaustion. Maybe a brief psychotic episode triggered by stress and sleep deprivation. Maybe something in the bus's ventilation system. Carbon monoxide poisoning causes temporal confusion, hallucinations, false memories. Perfectly rational explanation. Except, 3 weeks later, he saw the news report. Greyhound 317 disappeared on Interstate 5 near Fresno. 11 passengers and driver missing. Last known location, mile marker 171. Bus found abandoned at mile marker 163. No signs of struggle, no blood, no explanation. All personal belongings remained. Phones, wallets, luggage, but no people. And in the news footage, when they showed photos of the missing passengers, Ryan saw her. The woman with the gray hair and floral scarf, and the teenager with the band patches, and the businessman in the wrinkled suit. But the report said the bus disappeared Wednesday, March 20th. Ryan's trip was March 13th, 7 days earlier, 7 days before they disappeared, 7 days before the bus was found empty. So how did Ryan see them? How did he ride with them? Unless the Ryan who's watching this news report isn't the real Ryan. Unless the real Ryan is still on bus 317 in seat 14A, riding through Wednesday, 3:15 a.m., forever. And this Ryan, this version, is just a reflection that managed to step out of the glass. Or maybe Ryan never got off at all. Maybe he's still on the bus right now, dreaming he made it to Sacramento, dreaming he's safe, while his body sits in seat 14A, eyes open, staring at nothing, frozen at 3:15. And seat 27B? Still empty, waiting. What do you think happened to Ryan? Did he escape, or is he still riding? Leave your theory in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and subscribe, because sometimes the scariest journey is the one that makes you question which version of yourself is real. And if you're planning to take a long bus ride soon, especially at night, maybe check which seat you're in, just to be safe, just in case it's 27B.